Right, so I'm back from Cape Verde, and to be quite honest, I'm more tired now than before I went. But hey, that's holidaying with a toddler for you. Sure, it was lovely. Sun, sea, family time, but my entire existence still plays out like a never-ending series called social interaction? Absolutely not. Honestly, a private island with 0 humans sounds way more my vibe, but that's millionaire territory, and I'm out here checking my banking app like, yeah, not today. So let's unpack the week, literally and emotionally. So picture this. It's 4 a.m. We're at the airport with my wife's parents, heading off for my father-in-law's 60th. Now going on holiday with the in-laws somehow relaxes me. Like, oh good, there are other adults here who might know what they're doing. Security was smooth until I got pulled over for Calpol. Apparently I looked like I was smuggling a Class A strawberry suspension. The man's waving my toddler's medicine around like I've just been caught with a brick of cocaine. I'm there like, it's literally for teething, mate, not tripping. Anyway, we make it through the departure lounge, and as any civilised person knows, it's human right to have a pint at any time of day in an airport. Breakfast beer? Mandatory. Especially when you're a nervous flyer like me. I need that pint just to stop my brain going, we're definitely about to plummet to our deaths. So pint, breakfast, nerves calmed, we board. Bit of turbulence on the way. You know, the kind where everyone else is calm and I'm gripping the seat thinking, this is it, I've had a good run. We land, it's beautiful. Hot, simple, calm. The airport's basically a hut. We get on the transfer bus, and to keep our son entertained, I start this game. Spot the goats, donkeys, basically every creature living their best antisocial life, unlike us humans who keep pretending social interactions isn't exhausting. Next thing I know, the whole bus is in on it. So it's now me, 20 overexcited Brits, and a 3-year-old screaming, go, every 5 seconds like it's a national holiday. And honestly, it's kind of wholesome, in a way, like, why am I enjoying this? Now I'm staring out the window thinking, this looks exactly like the moon. Not that I've ever been to the moon, but if I had, I'd imagine it would be dust, rocks, and apparently screaming tourists. We finally arrive at what I can only describe as a sandcastle pretending to be a resort. I had this flashback to those Carry On films, you know, Carry On Abroad, where everything goes to hell. Didn't happen here, thankfully, but the vibe was there. Anyways, we pull up and our son's waving at the hotel staff like he's the Pope on tour. We get to the check-in, and because we have a kid, we get pushed straight to the front. Travelling with a toddler has its perks. Forget first class, this is the real VIP treatment. My wife and her mum handle check-in. I'm stood behind them with our son, who's chatting away to everyone about wanting to swim. Then this old lady behind us calls him over, and I'm thinking, alright, that's friendly enough. Next thing I know, she's picked him up. Just scooped him up like a melon at Tesco. I mean, lovely woman, but slightly weird behaviour. He's fine though, chatting away, name, age, the usual small talk. Still, don't pick up a random child, it's weird. And that, my friends, was the beginning of people trying to steal our child. So my wife comes back and tells us that we've got to wait half an hour for a new room, because apparently the first one was halfway to the Sahara. But we got an upgrade, closer to the pool and the in-laws, which is a win. We get to our room, there's one big double bed. Fine, we'll all squeeze in, no dramas. There was a sofa bed, but it looked like something out of a crime documentary. So yeah, family snuggle pile it is. Dinner time rolls around, and our son is having a meltdown because he wants to go swimming. But he's running on roughly 0.3 hours of sleep. On the way to the restaurant, the suitcase guys stop us, ask for a high five, and then pretend to drive away with our child. Who does that? I know they're being friendly, but come on. If a stranger pretended to kidnap me, I'd scream too. Now let's talk about being British and abroad and antisocial and anxious like myself. So me being antisocial, and as antisocial as I am, the absolute worst part of any holiday is talking to people. You cannot avoid it. Other parents, bar staff, cleaners, kids trying to befriend yours. It's like the universe is conspiring to ruin your peaceful existence. By day 3, I'm already dreaming of a private island where nobody speaks to me. Sadly, not quite in the millionaire bracket yet, so that's a no-go. Then we walk past a shop, and my son spots an ice cream bucket and spade and demands it like his life depends on it. We finally cave in and get at him when we hit the beach. And the waves, oh my god, the waves, they're massive. Beautiful, yes, but also clearly plotting to murder someone. My wife, of course, loves it. She's walking too close to the water with our son, while I'm standing on the shore screaming, "Get back! Get back!" Meanwhile, the dad is straight in the water like he's some sort of action hero with a death wish. And then some bloke casually walks up to me and tells me that his daughter's boyfriend broke his back in 3 places in these exact waves and had to be airlifted out. Fantastic. Now my anxiety is on red alert and I'm basically one step away from building a full-on safety barrier out of lilos, buckets and whatever else I can get my hands on. After that, we're a few days into the holiday and I decide to buy our son a little inflatable plane for the pool. Cute, right? Except the shopkeeper insisted on blowing it up, by mouth. So now I'm stood there, British and awkward, while this poor woman's nearly passing out trying to inflate a toy plane. There's a queue forming. I've said, honestly, I can do it about 6 times, but she's determined. By the end of it, she looks like she's run a marathon. If I'd tipped her, it would have been, "Tip, don't do that again." Meanwhile, my son is watching like this is completely normal, probably wondering why his mum is sweating more than a toddler in a sun hat. I just stand there, plotting how I'll avoid human interaction for the rest of the day, and silently vowing that next time, all inflatable toys will be purchased online. Last time we came here, me and my wife got a few stares. This time, it was totally different. There were loads of gay couples. It was like a mini pride. Felt like a holiday miracle. For once, I wasn't the only lesbian in the buffet queue. Only stares we got from time to time were the old people who clearly weren't thrilled with modern families. But that's fine. They can disapprove all they like. I'm still getting seconds at the dessert bar. Let's get on to entertainment. Because you know how these big holiday resorts love their entertainment. However, we never made it past 8:30, the whole week. But on the last night, we stayed up for the show. Big mistake. It was, well, how do I put this politely? A budget version of The Lion King. They took so long to start, the smoke machine had basically created its own weather system. We're sat here thinking this is going to be incredible. And then 6 people appear, dancing, completely out of sync. Halfway through, 3 people walk on wearing an animal foam head. My wife's crying with laughter at this point, and my son, well, he's absolutely loving it. And I'm just sat there thinking, well, at least we stayed awake for this fever dream. Now, I spent half the holiday convinced I was going to get food poisoning. Someone on TikTok commented before we left, "Don't take your kids there, people are dying." Brilliant. Thanks, Karen. I'd already eaten half my body weight by the time I read that, so I just accepted my fate. However, I'm still here to tell the tale, and only ended the holiday with a few bug bites and some mild paranoia. So, we survived. No food poisoning, no drowning, no abductions, just a few traumatic moments and one questionable tan line. The flight home, well, that was absolutely terrifying. Bumpy. Oh, it was just horrible. And a solid reminder that the universe knows I hate flying. 55,000 feet up, I'm gripping the armrest like it's the last lifeboat on Earth, whispering to myself, this is how it all ends. At one point, a woman somewhere behind us screamed loudly, dramatically, entirely unnecessary. My son, completely unbothered, just shouted, "What's that?" like it was the most normal thing in the world. And honestly, that might have been the highlight of the flight. Every tiny jolt made my stomach flip. My partner was calm as ever, while I was imagining worst-case scenarios involving us plummeting into the ocean with our luggage. And then somehow we made it back in the UK, home, safe, surrounded by laundry that had multiplied like a tiny passive-aggressive army while we were gone. And as always, I'm grateful for safety, for my little family, and for the fact no one had to be airlifted out of the waves this time, but also utterly, completely exhausted. Because let's be honest, holidays with kids aren't breaks. They're just parenting somewhere warmer with slightly different snacks more sand in uncomfortable places, and the sobering truth that holidays are just expensive tests of patience and parental endurance. Anyway, that was my Cape Verde chaos. If you ever come home from a holiday needing another holiday, you're my kind of people. See you next time for another episode of My Week in Chaos. Now, please excuse me, I've got about 17 loads of washing to get through.